Adanna stood frozen, her heart pounding in her chest. The flickering lantern in Chijioke's hand cast eerie shadows on the walls of the hidden underground chamber, where chests of gold and silver gleamed under the soft glow. "You are the lost prince of NRI," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the howling wind outside. Chijioke nodded, stepping toward her. "My true name is Prince Chijioke Obiora. My father was the great King Ifediora, but after his assassination, my mother smuggled me out of the palace as a baby. She hid me in this village, far from the greedy hands that sought to kill me." Adanna's legs felt weak. The man she had married, the poor farmer whom everyone mocked, was royalty. But why had he chosen to live in poverty? "Why didn't you tell me?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Because I needed to find someone who loved me for who I am, not for my wealth or title. And you, Adanna, chose me even when the world laughed at us." Tears welled in Adanna's eyes. Everything made sense now, the way he never seemed to fear hardship, his calmness in the face of struggle, his strange words of wisdom. But before she could fully process the revelation, loud banging on the door above sent shivers down her spine. "Open this door at once." It was Madame Ijoma's voice. And she was not alone. Chijioke swiftly covered the entrance to the underground chamber and led Adanna back into the hut. The door burst open just as they emerged, revealing Madame Ijoma standing with two heavily armed men. "So, it's true," she sneered, her beady eyes scanning the room. "The whole village has been whispering about this hut, how could I not investigate?" Adanna clenched her fist. "What do you want?" Madame Ijoma smirked. "Did you think you could hide such wealth from me forever? You chose to marry a poor man, eh? And now you think you can enjoy riches while I suffer?" She turned to the men beside her. "Take everything." The men lunged forward, but before they could step inside, Chijioke grabbed a machete from the wall, his eyes burning with fury. "If you so much as touch a single coin, I will ensure you never leave this place alive," he warned, his voice laced with authority. The men hesitated. Something about the way he spoke, the power in his stance, it was the aura of a king. Madame Ijoma, sensing their fear, stepped back. "You haven't seen the last of me," she spat before storming out. But Adanna knew, this was far from over. The next morning, news of Chijioke's true identity spread like wildfire. The village elders, once dismissive of him, gathered at his doorstep, bowing deeply. "Your Highness," one of them said, "forgive us for our ignorance. We never knew the lost prince was among us." Chijioke, ever humble, simply nodded. But trouble loomed on the horizon. The kingdom of NRI had long been ruled by a corrupt regent, a distant relative of Chijioke's who had seized power after the king's death. If the regent discovered that the true heir was alive, he would stop at nothing to eliminate him. That night, as Adanna and Chijioke sat outside their hut, she turned to him. "What will you do now?" He sighed. "I must reclaim my throne. My people suffer under the regent's rule. I can no longer hide." Adanna placed her hand over his. "Then we will fight together." And so, the journey began. Chijioke and Adanna, accompanied by the village elders and a handful of loyal warriors, prepared to return to NRI. It would not be easy, the regent would not surrender power without bloodshed. But Adanna knew one thing for certain, she had married not just a billionaire, but a king. And the battle for their destiny had only just begun. The journey to NRI was long and dangerous. Chijioke, Adanna, and a small band of loyal warriors traveled under the cover of darkness, moving cautiously through thick forests and hidden trails. News of Chijioke's return had spread faster than wildfire. The corrupt regent, Prince Obidike, had already sent spies to intercept them. If he captured Chijioke before he reached the palace, all hope of reclaiming the throne would be lost. But Chijioke was no fool. "We cannot enter NRI as beggars," he told Adanna one evening as they rested near a river. "We must enter as warriors, as a force that demands respect." Adanna, ever determined, nodded. Then we must find allies. The next morning, they arrived at the outskirts of NRI, where a group of exiled warriors had taken refuge. These men had once served Chijioke's father but had been cast out when Prince Obidike took power. If we are to fight for NRI, we need you by our side, Chijioke told them. Will you stand with your true king? The warriors hesitated at first. Many had suffered under the regent's rule and feared his wrath. But one man, a scarred warrior named Okochukwu, stepped forward. I was your father's general, he said, kneeling before Chijioke. And I will fight for his son. One by one, the warriors swore allegiance. Their numbers grew, and their strength multiplied. Victory seemed possible. But danger lurked in the shadows. That night, as Adanna slept, she heard hushed voices outside the camp. She crept closer and froze when she recognized one of them. Madam Ijeoma. She was speaking to a masked man, handing him a pouch of gold. Kill him before he reaches the palace, she whispered. The regent has promised me great wealth in return. Adanna's heart pounded. Her own stepmother had betrayed them. She rushed back to Chijioke, shaking him awake. We are not safe here, she gasped. Madam Ijeoma has sold you out. Before Chijioke could react, arrows rained down on the camp. The enemy had arrived. Chijioke and his warriors fought fiercely, their swords clashing against the regent's forces. Adanna, refusing to hide, picked up a dagger and fought alongside them. The battle raged until dawn, but Chijioke's men, though outnumbered, fought with the strength of lions. By sunrise, the regent's forces had retreated. We must move now, Chijioke said. We take the palace today. As they approached the gates of NRI, the city's people gathered, whispering in awe. The lost prince has returned. Guards loyal to the regent blocked the entrance, but when Chijioke stepped forward, something changed. The way he carried himself, the fire in his eyes, it was the spirit of a true king. One by one, the guards lowered their weapons. We serve the true heir, they declared. The palace doors swung open. The throne room awaited. Prince Obidike sat upon the golden throne, his face twisted in rage. You should have stayed in hiding, boy, he snarled. Chijioke stepped forward, unshaken. You have ruled long enough. Today, NRI takes back its kingdom. Obidike lunged at him, a dagger in hand. But Chijioke was faster. With one swift movement, he disarmed the regent and pressed a blade to his throat. Your time is over. The elders of NRI stepped forward. Prince Chijioke, son of Ifidora, rightful king of NRI, we welcome you home. The crowd erupted into cheers. The lost prince had returned. The kingdom was restored. And beside him, Adanna stood tall, not just as his wife, but as the future queen of NRI.